So if one of your lads on the farm came to you and said, look, this is how I'm feeling, I don't know what to do, like, what would you say to them? What would you tell them?
I'm trying to see if make sure that wasn't anything to do with work or whatever I could do to change their work or whatever, and try and help them in that way. Obviously, things are personal. People have things in their personal lives as well, so you don't want to intrude in their personal lives. There might be something happening at home that you don't know about, but make sure that they feel they can come and speak to you at any time. So and open up to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. You know, we're all. You know, we work in a manly environment, but you know, if you've got a problem, just come and speak about it, because once you've told somebody, you feel that weight has gone, lifted off your shoulders that little bit more. So yeah, I'd always encourage them to come to me and just say, look, Richard, you know, I'm not feeling great. And I have had one guy work for me, and he's told me that he's not feeling great. So he went and saw the doctor and got himself sorted out, and we put one or two things in place to help him. And we talked about it. You know, we talked about it. We put our arms around each other, give each other a hug. Do you know what I mean? That's just a hug. I know we can't do it at the moment, and we're socially distancing, but just a hug.
I think it is ridiculous that people don't seem to realise that it's the smallest things that can help, like talking, like someone just saying, how are you? Like, are you all right? And giving you a hug and something like that. And 1 in 4 people actually suffer from mental health. And it is absolutely crazy to me that it is such, it's not, maybe not taboo, but it's an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people.
There was always this little stigma, because back in 2012, when I was bad, there wasn't so many people talking about it. It wasn't a sort of an in subject like it is now so much. And I felt quite on my own and quite vulnerable to it, really. But one of the main things I always say to people, which I find a major thing, is when you feel bad, you can never imagine feeling well again. And when you feel how I feel now, well, you can never imagine feeling that bad. So there's the two extremes, you know, and that's the biggest thing that I always find. You know, people are feeling bad. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You will feel better. I guarantee you will feel better. And I had people telling me that when I was laying on the settee with the curtains drawn and all that. And I'm thinking, nah, they don't know what they're talking about. They didn't have it as bad as me. But you will feel better, because there's people like you and there's people like me they can talk to who've been there, who can actually, they can relate to. And I honestly believe unless you've been there, you probably can't quite relate to how you can and how poorly you can feel. I've had some serious injuries, like, you know, been put in hospital, been kicked by horses and all that, and nothing I've ever had done to me is the pain of mental health. Nothing.
I mean, it affects every single part of you. Like, you feel exhausted. You actually feel like there's something sitting on your chest. And like,
exactly that.
And I'm not sure if it's just me, but I feel like sometimes I convince myself I've got like a migraine, and you know, every part of me hurts, and it's like I'm trying to express to people how I'm feeling, and like nobody understands, and I think mentally, when you're not feeling yourself and you're not feeling right, it does affect every single part of you. And I think, as you said, unless you've been there, you can never understand it.
No.
But I think the big thing is talking. Like, you can. What else can you do other than talk? And I think
I had a great GP. I don't know whether you had a great GP. So I had a brilliant GP, and I think he'd gone through a little bit similar thing, because when I spoke to him, I could see it in his eyes. You can actually relate to what I'm talking about. He knew what I was talking about. He'd been through it. I knew he'd been off work as well, and the things were adding up when I was talking to him. So, and he still rings me up now, because my dad died a couple of weeks ago. So he rang me up and said, "How are you? Are you all right?" And those sort of little things. And you know, obviously they're really busy people. And there's other people who I know who know what I went through. They've messaged me, "Are you okay?" You know, and just those little things to know people care. You know, even that long ago. But and the dog's got to join in. But now that they're actually really good on cue. I found I started doing a lot of work with horses just after that, and I found going out and being with the horses really therapeutic, and also with my dogs. I absolutely adore my dogs. So because they're always the same, so they'll come and they sense when you're not feeling great, so they'll come lay, put their head on your lap, but with the horses, Janet will tell you that the horses, I think, was a big thing for me to feel better. So I think everyone finds a little something that you can relate to, whatever it is, whether that's exercise or, you know, certain little things that you can put in place. So, you know, just find that little thing which helps you and do it, and have a little bit of time for yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
I think for me, I got really annoyed with GPs when they was like, oh, do some exercise. And I was like, oh yeah, going for a run is going to help me. Yeah. But actually, when you get out there and, you know, you go for a walk and you get that fresh air, it actually does. Yeah. It does amazing things for you. And obviously, it doesn't take all your problems and your worries away, but it gives you a little bit of clarity and a clearer mind. Yeah,
I agree. And, you know, people say have a holiday, but I think if it works for you to have a holiday and come back and you feel better, great. But for me, it felt that if I had a holiday, all you're doing is putting your problems on hold. So you've got to come back. You've always got to come home again. So if you try and sort out yourself before you go on holiday, you're going to have a much better time. And then when you come back, you've got to still feel better rather than just thinking you're putting things on hold. Yeah. Because when we don't have holidays now, but when we used to go on holiday, I could feel like if we had a 2-week holiday in week 2, I'd start thinking about what's going to happen when we get back. This has all got to be worse. So sometimes you're better. I find it better for me to be here to sort things out as they happen on a daily basis. Like with the telephone, I try and take the calls as they come in, because if you're just putting off, then you'll get. At the end of the day, I've got to ring 10 people back. Yeah. So I try and deal with every caller that comes in and deals with the issues that as they come in. And delegation is a great thing. Yeah. So like in a work, you know, you just say, will you go and do this for me? Will you go and do that for me? Yeah. And just delegate it a bit rather than have to do everything yourself. Yeah.
I think that's the one thing, like getting that pressure off yourself and realising you can actually ask people for help. You can actually ask somebody, you know, to do this for you. Yeah. So you're not having to deal with the stress of it.
Yeah. And they can be silly little things, really. They're not all major things, just little things, you know, just to make your life a little bit easier and a little less stressful, really. And like I said, don't ask too much of yourself sometimes. I think we all expect sort of far too much of ourselves, you know. But the other thing as well is your partner in all this. I think that, you know, you've got a partner, I've got a wife. There's more than one person. If one person's got a mental health issue, that'll probably affect 10 people, maybe more. All the family will be affected. Your children will be affected in my case, because I felt I was letting them down. Yeah. Because I'm the dad, I'm the strong one, I'm the one they go to with their problems. And all of a sudden, the children had to step up. I said children in their 30s, but they're the ones who have to step up and look after dad, you know? And I felt really guilty about that. I felt a big sense of guilt that I wasn't being the macho dad to look after my kids, and they were having to look after me. So I felt that hard to deal with for quite a while. But once again, that then made them step up. So they have to grow up a bit as well. So they have to sort of get a bit more responsibility about them and realise dad isn't invincible. Yeah. You know, because when you're kids, you think your dad has never got hurt. Yeah. You know, whether that's physically or mentally, isn't it? So, I think that's taught them that and I always say, if Richard can get depression, anybody can get it. Yeah. Or if Richard can get anxiety, anybody can get it. Because if you'd have told me that I was going to get depression or anxiety 20 years ago, I would have laughed, because I just thought, there's no way I'd ever get that. But it can affect you. Yeah.